Always. Are you ready to level up?
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Travis.
You're listening to the LevelUp Business and Life podcast,
where we talk to the top business entrepreneurs to learn their level up secrets
and get their tips and tricks to level up your business and life.
Level up your business and life today.
You are listening to our interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. JP Skelley.
JP, welcome. Thanks for coming out again.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
JP, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, man. So I run CrossFit Excursion in downtown Johnstown. So right now we're located at 518 Washington Street inside the YOLO building down there next to the post office. And we do CrossFit classes. So we kind of focus on functional fitness. We mix gymnastics, weightlifting, and cardio kind of all together in a 1 hour class. So we do all the programming for our clients. Classes are different pretty much every day, but all the classes are standardized. So if you take like the 6 a.m. class or like the 4:30 p.m. class, you'll be doing the same workout. Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, it's all community-based, and we're just trying to make Johnstown a little bit healthier. You know?
Good.
Yeah.
So tell us the story a little bit. So we talked about it last time, but tell us a story about how you came back to Johnstown and how you decided to, and how and why you decided to start up a CrossFit gym.
Absolutely. So I did grow up in Johnstown. I graduated here in 2006. And then I was away for about 10 years or so, kind of bounced around. I was in Hawaii for a little bit, lived in Chicago, lived in Denver. And then about 2 years ago, my wife and I had decided to move back here. And it's been great, man. Honestly, it's, you don't really realize kind of what's in your own backyard until you go out and you see what else is out there. And that's, that is the truth. We love Denver, but the cost of living was extremely expensive. Yeah. You just spent most of your time you were surviving, you weren't really living, you know what I mean? And then you get to go to the trails on the weekend, but you're one of, 300 people out there. Yeah, it's like, so you kind of see like the quality of life in other places. And it's like, can you have a great life in Denver? Yes, you can. But, the people that really do are, they're multimillionaires. They have their life set up exactly the way they want it. And we just quite aren't there yet. Yeah.
So what was the pull for Denver? You had, well, let's take even a further step back.
Yeah.
You have a very unique educational background that a lot of people don't, they look at you, whenever you look at a person, they don't, whether they look one way and act, and they are perceived another way.
Sure.
So, what's your education, or at least, did you go straight from high school into college?
Sure. I actually took a little bit of a break there. So, right after high school, I spent 4 years in the Marines. And that's where I was stationed out of Hawaii. So, I graduated in 2006. I was in boot camp like 3 or 4 days later. Got stationed out of Hawaii for our main base. I was with 3 of his infantry unit out there. And I did my 4 years. We deployed twice, and then got out in 2010, and that's when I actually started college. So I used the GI Bill to go to Penn State. Spent about 2 years there, and actually ended up finishing my degree up online through Kaplan.
Okay.
After about a year and a half, I had my internship, and they actually sent me to a physical therapy company in Chicago, and I set up a CrossFit program for them. It was kind of like a pilot program, and they offered me a job, so I took it, and I just kind of finished my degrry online.
It's always nice having that job right out of college lined up.
That's kind of what I remember talking to my dad about it, actually. And he's like, that's kind of why you're going to school, right? It's like to get a half decent job. So right. If the opportunity's there, like, take it, man.
Experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get the experience.
Well, that's the interesting thing about college these days is like people think you have to finish to, that you need it. It's almost like a license to work. But yeah. I mean, if you have, like you said, if you have the opportunity, why not take it? You don't necessarily, college is in theory to learn, to get a job, the stuff that you need to be able to be effective in your job. But if you can just do the job and learn how to be effective in the job, that's
you are so right about that, man. I use my CrossFit seminars way more than I use my degree.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So what is your degree?
My actual degree is a Bachelor's of Science in Health Science through Kaplan. And like I said, about the first 2.5 years, I was in the kinesiology program through Penn State, Maine. So a lot of those transferred over, finished up through there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's paint the picture. So finish college, you're in Chicago.
Yes.
Then what was the transition there?
Sure. So, like I said, my CrossFit program that I had started was doing pretty well, but we existed literally in the basement of like a Globo gym. So, and it was kind of a cool start, but I found out really quickly this whole facility was kind of its own. It was like a flagship thing. So they had. The first part of it was like a physical therapy clinic, and the second half was a gym. And the idea was, take some of these, it was a very blue collar neighborhood. So like, local cops and firemen, you take some of these guys that are a little bit broken, you give them the physical therapy, and then you can sell them a gym membership afterwards. So in theory, it was great. But the overhead in that place was like, I think they said it was like $30,000 a month just to keep the lights on. And imagine that in like, $42 gym memberships. I mean, that's a lot of overhead, man. So the physical therapy clinic ended up taking most of the financial burden for the thing. And although my program was doing well, the gym was just failing.
Really?
So, yeah. And we kind of saw down the road, like my manager and the regional manager, we didn't know how long they were going to be around. Yeah. So we kind of were at a point where like, okay, we either start our own place here or, we always loved it out west. So we decided to pick up and give it a shot out there.
Nice. So that led you to Denver.
Yes. So we moved outside of Denver at a place called Aurora. It was a little suburb, and I started teaching CrossFit classes out there. And then Kara's a speech pathologist.
So Kara's your wife?
Yes. And she was my, I guess she would have been my girlfriend at the time. It's maybe an engagement in there somewhere. But yeah.
It happens. Life. It's crazy how life has its twists and turns and leads you to where you are now.
That is the truth, man. That is the truth.
So you're out in Denver teaching CrossFit classes. You didn't have your own gym at this point, though, right?
No. Just I had always used it as kind of something that I really enjoyed doing, and kind of a way to I could always use it to pay the bills. My business partner and I had really focused on getting involved in like the MMJ industry out there. So that was kind of our gamble, but CrossFit was always kind of a staple, guaranteed source of income.
MMJ?
Like the medical marijuana industry out there. Yeah. So we started, we were actually caregivers. So we started a caregiving company. The way it works out there is everyone that is over 21 years old is allowed 7 plants by law. There's no limit to size. If you have a med card, you're allowed 14 plants. Okay. So the way this program works, and this was before like dispensaries and all that kind of stuff, you can take a person who is sick and they can sign their plant count over to you. So we can grow their medicine, we process it, and then we can deliver it to them. And we're not allowed to sell it. You have to take like a donation, which just happens to coincide with the street price of whatever you're trying to sell.
Right.
But yeah, that's the way the program works. So we ran that for about 2.5 years or so. And off the start, it was a little bit rough, but that ended up paying our bills.
Whenever you said caregiver, my mind immediately went to an old folks home.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Conversation many times.
That is genius.
You supply to the old people.
Here's your meds.
Yeah.
Here's your meds.
Different kind of
papers. Here's your papers.
That's right.
In states that it's not legal, we call that a dealer for old people.
Right. That's right. Well,
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, that sounds like, given how, was it like lucrative, or did you guys not catch wind? Do you think there was like too much competition, or what?
That's a great point, man. So it is lucrative, but it's you have to. It's kind of like what we're going through here, where it's they're always the dispensaries that are going to be able to undercut you by price big time. So really, what these clients are paying for is a personal service. They're paying you because they like you, they like the quality of your product, and they trust you. That's really the thing. And it's kind of the same thing we're doing with CrossFit. I feel like, you can go up to Planet Fitness for a lot cheaper, but people choose to come to our gym, I believe, because of the level of customer service and, Yeah.
Well, I like how you brought it back to it, because we talked about it last time, but it's a big, it's very important that cover that piece, because I think you really do. Like, I attend your gym and I really enjoy the classes, and I think something that you do excellently is really, and I think what's important about CrossFit specifically is building that, like, that open, welcoming culture, and that crowd, the camaraderie that comes with it. You can talk with people, and it's true what they say, that you talk to somebody that does CrossFit chances are they'll mention that they do CrossFit at some point.
Right. Yeah.
You surround yourself with other people like that. I mean, and it's a lot of fun, and you guys do it really well. You make it very
thank you.
Unintimidating.
Yeah.
And so like somebody new, they come and do it. It's all about competition against themselves. You don't have those like crazy beef bodies there that are just like screaming, "Oh, that's scaring people away."
Yeah.
But you have it's very very welcoming, and that's I think so important because I like. You have a couple people in class. One specifically I have in mind. She's been coming like consistently in the mornings, and she, she's not one comparatively. So she's not the champion, but she's always busting her butt. You always see progress, and that's in the end what you want to do, especially with fitness. And so you do a really good job at like just kind of building that, CrossFit family, if you will. And so I think that is part of why you guys are doing so well versus playing fitness. That's honestly what a lot of people want in fitness. They want some support.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Three big pieces to any customer experience.
Yeah.
You have your onboarding.
Yes.
Your engagement, and then your retention.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is an onboarding process? So let's say I'm a new member.
Yeah.
Or, how you come in, sign the forms.
Absolutely. That's a great question, man. So we do it one of two ways.
Okay.
So I will always schedule kind of a one-on-one session. So if someone calls me, it's like, hey, I want to try CrossFit. I'm a little bit nervous. I usually set them up a one-on-one where, we'll meet together and I'll put them through a CrossFit class. But just kind of show them like, hey, if you come in here and you look at the board and there's 50 pull-ups, it's like, here's what you're going to do instead. And we kind of teach them, like how to scale down not only the volume, but the exercise itself. So instead of just kind of throwing them in a corner, like, okay, you're going to do this, and like they're never going to get any better because no one pays any attention to them. It's still a standardized workout. There's accountability there, but like, hey, instead of pull-ups, we're going to do ring rows today, and then like another 6 weeks, once our, strength comes up a little bit, then we'll get you on the bands.
Yeah. What's nice about it is like you make it so that the workout matches their skill level, not like they have to match the workout. If they can't match the workout, they're left in that corner, they're done.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what's intimidating about it for a lot of people, and just working out in general is they think that, I'm required to do this. I have to do this. Oh, I can't do this. I'm not going to go. Versus, no. You just come in. As long as you're just doing what you can and as hard as you can, you'll see growth. You just consistently.
Absolutely.
That's why I think you do well. You make it, like I said, unintimidating, which is important.
Thank you.
So then, now that we kind of nailed down the onboarding, the engagement is really kind of the differentiating factor in your businesses, and because you're with another local CrossFit gym at one point.
Yes.
But,
I worked with one for a little bit when I came back.
And it's funny to hear how two companies can have two totally different visions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they very very similar things. So you're with what it was with.
There's another local gym. There's actually one more CrossFit gym in town, CrossFit Incline. And those guys, they run a tight ship. I think it was just mostly a difference of how we, kind of like you said, how we wanted to structure our business. Once we just kind of had different ideas on how we wanted to run it. And I truly think once we were all honest with ourselves, we kind of fielded like everyone, like, hey, here's really what I would like out of this situation. It was kind of a time to just, part ways.
Right.
But yeah, it is cool. That's one of the things I really like about CrossFit actually is, they really do not step on it's not like opening a Subway where you have like, okay, it has to look like this. You can use these colors, There are really well-run CrossFit gyms, and there are really poor CrossFit gyms out there. I mean, that's the truth. But I like that, and it's kind of up to the consumer and the coaches and the owners to further their education, and the consumer to kind of do their due diligence and see what can work for them.
Right. So, what is the bigger, biggest part of that is the engagement. How you're engaging your members.
Absolutely. So, we'll kind of tell people it's, really we're part of what we're selling is access to the community. You know, our gym memberships are more expensive than other gyms, but we do things that's not like a pizza party. We'll do fitness events. We'll do things like, okay, we're going to cancel class today and we're going to go up to the mound and we're going to run wind sprints. You know, there is that sense of community. This Saturday, actually, if anyone's available, we're going to be out at the Ghost Town Trail at 10 a.m. We're meeting out at Dilltown. And it's we're going to ride up to Nanny Glow. It's about 10 miles each way. We're going to grab lunch up there and come back. And we're opening it up to families, friends, anyone that wants to go. So there is that community aspect, which I think really does kind of keep people interested, involved, and it helps them see improvements.
For those listening, that was April 13th, 2019. For those old listen, you know, if you're listening to this, you know, post launch.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so you know, it kind of ties into the excursion. You know, so you are, you know, you could be down. You say you've done events down at the Quay.
Yes, we've been out at the Quay.
So that's the Queen-Mahoming Dam.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great place, you know, down in Somerset.
Absolutely,
that has it's one of our feature waterways here in the area.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's, I mean, kind of like we touched on before. That is one of the huge selling points of just Johnstown. I mean, all this stuff is like, it's literally in your back. It's like a 15-minute drive. You can hit all these trails, and you go out there, and there's no one on
Nobody.
It's awesome,
man.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Like you were talking about the bike ride in the Ghost Town. I recently got a bike. I've just recently been riding around. It's so nice, man. It's
right?
Like there's not a lot of people. Like we rode on some trails, and we saw maybe like 5 people the whole time.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
And it's just quiet, and it's like that's exactly what you want out of a trail.
Right.
But it's not oversaturated. The trails are really nice. Absolutely. And that's what people don't understand. It's like, man,
it's not really bumpy, so you can leave your training wheels on, Ethan.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah, I can do it, so anybody can do it. But no, I mean, you're exactly right. It's awesome. I really think that that's one of our biggest, you know, angles and biggest resources is we have this outdoor stuff that you can go out just a few minutes, and it's really like, you know, naturally quality.
Yeah,
trails.
I mean that's trails, and even like the rapids and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, class 3, class 4. I mean, it's like it's right here. There's people that, you know, they'll drive 6 hours to go do that stuff. You know,
right?
It's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, outside of this area, the next class 3, class 4, maybe even class 5 rapids, probably about an hour and a half south.
I believe so. I know that. I think in terms of difficulty, I know that around here is a little bit more different, like in the Ohio PAL. I think we have a little higher class rapids, but don't quote me on that.
They've literally, you know, they literally have a death count.
Yeah,
you know, they have an annual death count.
Yeah. That's but see, one thing that most people don't know is like we actually had the longest continuous stretch, and this was confirmed by the people that know, longest continuous stretch of whitewater rapids in the East Coast.
I mean, that's
continuous, and that's when I heard that I was like, what? The
East
Coast, not even north, East Coast.
That's cool, man. Wow. You know, yeah.
And then I've been down most of them at least, and yeah, it's a blast. And some of the rapids, when the water gets high enough, they were these guys who know what they were talking about. This isn't me, by the way. I'm just they were saying that they actually do get like really, really high class when it's, because what's interesting about the waterways is when the water gets certain levels, there's it like opens up other streams and other routes that aren't normally there.
Yeah.
And so some of them have become very, very difficult, very high class, but like serious. I've seen pictures of some of these rapids when they get up to class 5. It's crazy.
Nuts, man.
I think whenever I did whitewater rafting down the Stony Creek, it was pretty crazy. Like it was really rough, and I mean it was blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, you just power right through them. And I mean that was probably 6 to 8 years ago, but man, what a great time.
Absolutely.
So you came from you were in Colorado, and then you came back to Johnstown and started up a CrossFit gym. And How was that?
Not necessarily to start, but he worked with the other ones and then came kind of
right.
Sure.
But that's a good question. So did you ever when you came back? Did you know you were going to start? Or what was the point when you were like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start this CrossFit?
Yeah, that's a really good point. So I actually reached out to just kind of like knowing that we're going to move back here. I just kind of started doing research in the area, and I found that one gym. So I reached out to them, and they were doing pretty well. I think at that point they'd been around like 2.5, 3 years. And they were kind of looking to expand as well. So they had hired me on as kind of a head coach, and then they wanted me to help expand their brand. And really, I think for me, after about 3 or 4 months, it was kind of like you present an idea, and there wouldn't be a lot of oomph behind it. You have a meeting, there wouldn't be much changes. So like another month would go by, you present an idea, and that's kind of where it was. It was instead of, you're kind of at this point where it's like, okay, do you get resentful, and kind of like just go to this job that you hate and you just complain about it, or do you kind of make a change? And Johnstown, because of the way things are set up around here, gave me the ability to kind of do that. You could look at some of these places and say, you know what, like I think I can afford $30,000 in equipment and $1,200 a month in rent, as opposed to $60K or $100K in equipment and $4,000 overhead.
Right.
It's so yeah, absolutely. That really was the turning point for me.
Yeah, gotcha. Was it intimidating getting started up?
It was a little bit. But I continued to kind of train in that 6 months there. So I kept touch with some of the local clients and that. And we actually did have our first 6 a.m. class. I showed up at like 5:55 because I just thought it was going to be me in there, and I think there was like 5 or 6 people sitting in their cars outside on like our first class. So it was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that must have felt good. Be like, damn, there's actually people that want to do this.
That's exactly right. It's like, okay, this could actually work.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's always nice, opening up, when you open up the doors, actually having people walk in.
Absolutely. And it's there's so many people that like, especially for like a noon class, if they're the only one there, or they forgot to sign up, like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's like, oh, like, man, I get to do what I love to do because of you. You know what I mean? So, I mean, come in. I'd much rather have you here working out than not. So absolutely.
So one thing I've always noticed about you, JP, is you have a lot of energy.
You
always wake up and ready to go, and you're always doing stuff, always talking fast. That's just you. Like, where does this boundless energy come from?
Oh man,
it is quite boundless.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of always been like that, but now I feel like it's more out of necessity, to be honest with you. It's just, with Leo, who's he's my 6-month-old boy, the business and everything. It's just, you kind of hit a point where it's like, you only have X amount of hours in the day, you got to get it done, man.
Are you one of those people that like thrive in that situation?
I do. I am the biggest procrastinator in the entire world until until it's like game time, and then that's what I feel.
I've been working on that a lot. I would say it's not as bad as it used to be, but I actually like it better when it's like I have so much to do. I need to do this stuff now in this small time window. I tend to perform, but that's just I don't know what it is.
Lock it down, turn on the game face, and get at it.
For sure.
I like it when it's a hectic day. Most people look at me like, I would panic. No, honestly, I like it that way.
That's right. Because otherwise,
it's controlled chaos.
Yeah. That's exactly right, man.
Right.
Yeah. Just next meeting, next, got to do this, got to do that. Boom, boom, boom.
At the end of the day, you feel accomplished.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yep.
You did something. You were productive.
Mm-hmm. So, and it's like it'll tend to be labor stuff too. It's like if you have I have to write 2 emails this afternoon. Like I'll spend way too long on those 2 emails. Or it should be like just 5 or 6 sentences. Like get the damn thing out. It's just so it helps me to just gotta move.
That's interesting. Like those, I like to differentiate that there is a difference between simple and easy. Like that is very easy to do. Like you just do it. It's not complicated. But it's not as simple as it sounds because internally you got to get things going and just it comes back to you. Like, maybe you're tired at the end of the day. Maybe you don't have as much motivation. Like it's not always as simple as it sounds.
Yeah, you're exactly right, man.
Sometimes it is though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sometimes it is.
Sometimes you're sitting there going, all right, just do this.
Yeah. Sometimes it just
just do it.
Yeah, that ain't that the truth.
I think that's
quit stealing.
One of the challenges entrepreneurs face is like, because you have no accountability except to yourself.
That's-
There's no one going out and paying the bills and building except for you.
Yep.
It's a blessing and a curse. And I think that's why
It's
it works
true.
for some people. It doesn't work for other people.
Yep.
Because like some people will continue that pathway of procrastination, but entrepreneurs, you might sometimes. I think everybody's human, but
True.
eventually you get to the point that either you're like, okay, I need to fix this habit, I need to stop this habit, I need to figure out why I keep doing this and stop it,
Yep.
or I need to figure out some sort of system or keep myself busy to the point that I can't do that. There's a way around it. You just got to fix that problem. I think that's the big difference. Is that being self-accountable is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, and it's it's not even the workload. Like I would make the argument every time. It's just from like punching in a 9 to 5. I mean, you guys know that it's like it's a lot of extra work. It's not like the time you're there. It's the emails. It's the back end stuff. But at least it's on your own time.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have it that way, where you get you might be busy as hell, but at least you get to set up the day kind of how you want it. So
how do you set that? You use your kind of scheduling system do you have in place to help you kind of move throughout your day?
Absolutely, man. So we actually just made a couple changes there. So thankfully, we have a really good team working with us. We have about 4 other coaches that will kind of pinch hit, and they're awesome, reliable people. So I never have to worry about the gym being left open or them not showing up for classes. So Chunks there helped me get away a little bit. And then we also just hired the girl that was helping us out with our social media. We've kind of bumped up her responsibilities as like an event coordinator, and she's kind of helping me with.
Oh, I bet that takes off.
Yeah, because like I said, it's that stuff is I'm not great with the emails and that. And it's amazing how, like, when you're trying to put an event together, like we have the Liberty Dash coming up, you have to go to City Hall. You have to set an appointment.
Pain in the ass.
You have to write a letter. You have to take that letter to like the city planner. You have to get their right.
I'm pretty good at it too. Like I get some stuff done, but like I hate it.
Oh yeah, it's herding cats, man.
Yeah. Oh my god. So many, like, you need to find the right date. You need to like talk to people, let them know ahead of time consistently, and that's just to get people there. And then you need to make figure out what logistics go into the event.
That's people's schedules. How do you only work from like 2 to 5 p.m. like Tuesday and Thursdays?
And then like planning according, like, okay, you have this many people RSVPing, so you need to plan around that, but you need to plan for 40% not showing up because they're dicks.
Yep. That's right. See,
it's the worst.
So thankfully that's not on my plate.
But it's a necessity. And I think going back to what you're saying, building that culture, it's important to have some consistent events and stuff going around. So we're wrapping up on time here. I know you need to balance, but one last question: how do you balance time when you as a new father? I thought that was an interesting point we touched on last time.
That's a great question, man. I'm still figuring that out for sure. I haven't come up with the system there. To be honest with you, man, it's kind of a little anecdote that someone told me a while ago, but they kind of had this glass ball, rubber ball analogy that they told me. And he was kind of the same thing. He'd gotten a promotion at work, and he was talking about, work's going really well, money's good, but like I spend 0 time with my family. And he kind of talked about this, you're juggling all these balls, and some are rubber and some are glass. And like the rubber ones are like you miss a client or you miss a phone call, and like you can always go back later and make that right, But the stuff that like I missed my kid's first step, or I missed, like that, you can't get that back, man. That's the glass balls, And so that kind of resonated with me, and I've really tried to just internalize that. So I am kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now, but at the same time, I do have my morning routine. And then anytime I'm back at the house, I try and a lot, just go play with Leo for a little bit, spend some time with him for lunch. And it allows me to kind of balance.
That's a very interesting analogy. I like that.
Yeah, it was. I can't take credit for that, but
I've heard a lot of analogies, and that was a cool one.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense because, some things it's just it comes down to prioritization.
You're right.
I don't like the people that are like, it's always frustrated me that they're like, oh, I don't have the time to do that.
Yes,
like,
you
no.
Yes, you don't.
It's not you don't have the time. Yeah, you don't prioritize it. It's just fine. Just tell me like, no, I can't make that a priority. Okay, that's fine.
That's exactly that's
I
an
would
answer.
Understand that more than like, I don't have time. Yes,
Sounds like
Right,
cop out.
I tell you, like, I have
saw you
barely
in
any
the
time, and I still get stuff done that I want to. I just put it ahead of other stuff.
That's-
And I really
yeah.
like that analogy because, like, that's that really it helps you keep track of things that are important.
Absolutely, man.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's my answer for now, anyways.
Do you have Leo doing muscle ups yet?
Yeah.
Soon, man. Soon
He's gonna be those videos with the little plastic bar. And
Yeah, that's coming next.
That's gonna be Leo, man.
we got him in the jumper, so we're working his legs.
Yeah, that's right. Getting started early.
That's right.
Very important. Very important.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was your level up moment? That moment that you were like, okay, I'm here, but I want to get to here. I need to do this. This is what I need to do, or this is I can do it. What was that level up moment for you?
Absolutely. That's a good question too. So it would have been right when I was getting ready to leave that other gym. It was that moment where it's like, okay, I can always make money training, or I can stay in this job, and it would be a safe move. Mm-hmm. But it was the level up moment was like, I think I can do this. I think I can make money at it, and I think I can be happy doing it. And it really is, man. I mean, even on the worst days, I take a lot of pride in being able, like when someone walks in the door and like, is this your place? It's like, yeah, this is my place. Yeah. Like, like if I want to give a discount or throw a t-shirt, like I don't have to ask permission anymore. It's like, you can just run things how you think they need to be done. So nice. You're exactly right, man. That was my level up.
Yeah. There's some, it's nice to have that control. Again, there's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is that you have complete control.
Absolutely.
The bad side is that you have complete control, so if you fuck it
Right,
up.
it's on you, buddy.
Yeah, it's on your hat.
Nope.
On your shoulders.
But yeah, this place is, it really is, man. It's kind of exciting. I see a change in downtown Johnstown. It's, just kind of have to see where things take us next couple of years.
There's some good stuff happening for sure. And you guys are one of those big catalysts. We just need to keep on pushing forward. I think so.
Thanks, man. The right you guys too. The only way any of us, we got to band together. That's the only way we're all going to make it,
exactly,
man.
Exactly. Yeah. And, having a strong message, as a, young entrepreneurs coming up. And I think, with talking with some of the older business owners in the area, they're starting to see that too. And
I agree.
Kind of being able to give us guidance so that way we know where our potholes are.
Yep.
And we're seeing that now as I'm working with the young professionals.
Absolutely, yeah.
That it's so as the president of the young professionals, have been able to work with Amy Bradley and John Pelagic at the chamber, and establishing some leadership training. One of the things that we're looking at doing is a speed networking or speed mentoring event.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So half the room would be able to
speed. I like it. Yeah.
Right. Half the room would be able to get a mentor from a C-level executive.
Yeah.
But again, it has to be a good fit. So let's say like 6. So let's say we have 12 people in the room.
Yeah.
6 of them have agreed to be a mentor for someone for a year. The other half would be the chamber board to talk to them about their different committees to get involved in.
Yeah.
So you have the chance to get involved or to learn. But either way, if you get into a committee, you're getting that leadership.
Absolutely.
But if you get a mentor, it's a little more one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And I think ultimately it can just have it could really go gangbusters.
Yeah. It's a cool model too, man. I mean, it's, when you sit down at the table with something, you can usually tell, right, like a minute or two into the conference, like if it's going to be something or if it's not, and that way no one's wasting their time. You can, it's cool.
Right. And it can kind of be like, these are my top 3.
Yeah.
So this is my number 1, this is my number 2, this is my number 3. And then it has to coincide with the potential mentor.
Absolutely.
Where they go, all right, I want Allison, John, and Stephen. Cool. Those are my 3.
It's awesome, man.
And then the committee, the board members, can basically they're trying to recruit, so they're just they're going, all right, you want to do this, let's get into this. And I'm probably going to preface it with an interest form, so that way they can go to the board member and go, and they can kind of look over and go, oh, this is what you're interested in, here's the opportunities that are available for you based on these interests.
That's awesome, man. I mean, keep me posted. That's a cool event.
Yeah.
So anything major coming up that we didn't touch on, or anything else you want to plug?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have. Let me check my calendar here to make sure. So on July.
Yeah, the Liberty Dash, right?
Yes, thank you. On Saturday, July 6th, we are planning our annual Liberty Dash. This will be our third one. So just kind of check out our Facebook page, and we'll have tickets available on Eventbrite. So it'll be about a 3-mile course throughout Johnstown. We're going to feature the Point Stadium, People's Natural Gas Park, the Incline Plane, Central Park, and then I think we're going to have a catered meal from, I believe, Balance. We're talking to them right now. So, and I believe cold tubing. Last year we cold tubed for about 2 hours afterwards. So it should be a really fun event.
Awesome. I went last year, and it was great. You were tired, but it honestly wasn't that bad as I thought. But it was long like anything, but it was fun.
It's a long day.
How much for?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, and we still have to figure this out, but we did tickets for $45. We do offer veteran and military discounts. And that gets you a race t-shirt, participation in the events, 2 drink tickets, a meal, and then cold tubing. So we're not really doing it to make money as a gym. As long as we break even, we're happy. We're trying to just put a good event out there for the community. So
yeah, absolutely. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
for 50 or $45.
Yeah, that's what we're trying, man.
Or around that number.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, in my head, I was thinking this would be $50-$55 event.
Oh yeah,
so I mean
that's awesome.
Yeah.
But because of the value that comes out of it, if you go cold tubing, that's what, $15.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Your t-shirt cold is a blast, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a cool idea.
T-shirt, you're looking at another 15.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's 30, and then the 2 drink tickets, that's 12. So you're looking at $42 right there. Mm-hmm. So these things add up,
That's right.
These things add up. But man, it sounds like can really go, really do great. And how many people did you have last year?
We had about I'd say between 50. I'd say between 40 and 50 last year.
Okay.
And that was pretty much, we marketed a couple local businesses and mostly our gym. This year we're trying to expand it to another couple local gyms. We're letting the chamber know, just trying to pump it around town. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys have anyone that would be interested, just let me know.
Absolutely. And where can people find you?
Absolutely. So it's www.crossfitexcursion.com. We also have a Facebook and a Instagram and I believe a Twitter under the same name. But yeah, again, guys, it's a Facebook, and then our website is the main place.
Hey guys, so check out CrossFit Excursion.
Yes.
You can find one at least the website, Instagram, Facebook, and how often are you posting?
Pretty often. Our social media presence is, she does a really good job with that. So about an hour or two, she should get back to you.
And for the social media, anybody interested is at @CF_excursion.
Thank you very much.
That's for Instagram?
Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really
appreciate
nice
the time.
to you.
Thanks for coming back out, man. This is a good conversation like last time as well.
Yeah,
So
always.
My pleasure.
I can't remember a bad conversation that the 3 of us have ever had.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are easy to talk to, man. So I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming out. But yeah, Trav, you have anything going on?
Other than the young professional, or with the young professionals, we have on August 18th, we're doing a networking event with the UPJ Business Club. That's going to be from 5:30 to 7:30 at Woodside Bar and Grill.
Yeah, anybody who's looking for interns or just get young people involved, it's a great opportunity to come out and meet some sharp individuals up at some of the local colleges.
And when Ethan says sharp individuals, these cats in the business club, they are sharp individuals. I'm working with that group right now, and it is fantastic. They add so much more value to to different businesses and groups in the area.
Nice.
So there's a stellar group that are willing to learn and do. So
And what time is that, Travis?
that's from 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
Nice.
So I'm super excited. And then tomorrow evening, I'm going to be speaking at Amy Bradley's UPJ, University of Pittsburgh at Johnstown PR class.
Nice.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that as well. Let's see, what else do I have coming up? Right now I'm in the middle of scheduling a spot on Kevin Stevens' radio show. So former Pittsburgh Penguins hockey player.
Nice, man.
So if you Kevin Stevens, he was on. Lemieux and so whenever Lemieux was winning all those Stanley Cups, Kevin Stevens was one of his assistants. So it's
Nice.
So Lemieux was captain, Yager was an assistant, and then Kevin Stevens was the second assistant. For those of you who don't follow hockey, just kind of give you the weight that he pulls. He's got a fantastic story and his recovery from so many different things. Working with him on promoting my Facebook Messenger chatbot called Recover Chat. Recover Chat helps recovering addicts locate meetings. Just as simple as that. Right now, I have it built out for AA and NA in Cambria County, which is it's kind of a morbid topic, but it needs to be talked about.
I think it's great, man. That's cool.
So that's something that I'm working out. I've got some other projects lined up. I can't really give out too many details right now, but I'm excited for a lot of the development of the group.
Nice.
So young professionals we do our first Friday helping hour. This past Friday, we were at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. We did a collection for Cambria County's backpack project.
Nice.
Which we collected single-serve food items. So, snack packs, fruit cups, mac and cheese, those types of things that directly help feed our area's kids for after school and before school programs. Make sure they get the right nourishment in their bodies, because as we're the young up and comer entrepreneurs, those are even the younger up and comers that we have to kind of look after. So keep that in mind. Whenever you see our area's youth running around, and it's kind of the weight that we have to put on them as well.
Excellent. Yeah.
So Ethan, how about you, man?
We got a few things going on. The big thing is on May 1st, we're having an event here. Me and Lauren Presser, our local attorney, we're going to be teaching a financial planning strategy around for anybody that has a special needs child or dependent or whatever it is. Kind of teaching just some strategies. There's a lot of strategies you can do on the financial planning side when you have that situation. So we're going to be touching base on that. I think it should be important around here and just in general. So we're doing that, and then 814 Works for our next event. We're kind of working on a couple ones. We're looking at doing an educational event around opportunity zones here, which will be important. So we're working on that. And then, like you, a couple things happening underneath the surface that we're getting going, but more news on that to come. But as of now, that's where we're at. So, and Game of Thrones is coming out this weekend, so it'll be pretty good too.
Yeah. Excellent, guys.
Yeah, you can. If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to be a guest, if you want to come on chat, or if I have any questions for JP, any questions for us, go ahead and email us, mail@levelup.buzz. And
So the email is contact@levelup.buzz. And I'll put that in the show notes, so that way you guys can message us. Pretty responsive on that end. What's the first? So the YPA First Friday Helping Hour. So we're on May. So that'll be the first Friday of May. You have we're looking at Off the Rack. So it'll be May 3rd at Off the Rack in Ebensburg. We are inviting the Indiana YP, Young Professionals,
Nice.
as well as the Blair County YP. So getting some of these cats from Indiana and the Altoona areas in to really have what I hope to be an awesome mixer. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And so I'll keep everybody posted. So if you're interested in in joining up with us on from the young professional side of things, we are looking at. You can find us on Facebook, Young Professionals of the Alleghenies, and I think that's all I've got, man.
Yeah. Nice. So, and don't forget,
always level up.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Take care now.